following excerpt was written by Kemppainen sometime between July 7th and July 8th, 2026. A gratifying yet bittersweet time spent painting in plein air was held yesterday. Longtime Key West artist Norbert Szilagyi passed away, and painting was the chosen method of coping for my fellow plein air comrade, Dwyer. I remembered Norbert as a kind man from the few times we met, but my friend Sean knew him on a much deeper level. I shared in Sean's mourning, supporting him, accompanying him on a painting session to keep his mind busy and the heartache at bay. Close the shop. Go paint. We painted because artists are happiest when they're painting. As we set up our easels outside Blue Heaven, I realized that Sean had placed himself among a remarkable group of friends on one of the loveliest streets in Key West, with the original songs of a distinguished local songwriter, musician, and friend, pouring through the open doors and windows of the adored establishment, Vive Wine Bistro. Night fell quickly. We treated every second of painting with urgency. Sean painted Vive and I painted Blue Heaven. Good energy, smiles, the beauty of Key West slowly lifted that somber mood. Turning grief to celebration, Sean laid down brushstrokes of tribute to Norbert within his painting. Quote, "The reds. He knew just where to hit the reds," Sean said as he dipped into a well of crimson. Mr. Dwyer has an extensive education in art history. Since I've known him, he's been determined to capture my attention just how fascinating the subject can be. He understands how daunting and dry the study of art history can sometimes seem, so he has persisted in sharing his enthusiasm. If he didn't get a reaction from me one way, he'd try another. If I didn't get excited when he told me something in person, he'd text me, email, send me videos, leave voicemails, even type me a letter on his vintage typewriter. I bet. It didn't take long for me to appreciate how relevant and parallel the history of art is to my own life now that I'm a full-time professional artist. To carry, pass the torch is an artist's duty. Understanding where that torch came from reveals the honor it truly is to carry it. Today, we celebrated the life and work of Norbert Szilagyi and his passing of the torch to future generations. Throughout the night, Sean spoke about the lessons he learned from his friend, the guru monk. Being a Tibetan Buddhist monk was just one of the many facets that shaped Norbert's intriguing life. With a strong track record of being productive whenever we joined forces, tonight's sentiments had their own way of creating positive forward motion. An unfortunate event, still offering fuel for a creative mind. Paintings were painted, ideas flowed, actions were taken, respects were paid. The night wasn't over. You see, Sean P. Dwyer is also an exceptional writer, not just a master of the paintbrush. Back at the gallery, he went straight to work on the antique Olympia typewriter that sits ready for moments just like this. He typed away, while another friend and I talked about art. In his unmistakable voice, he blasted out a full page, reflecting on the passing of his friend. Before departing for the night, he stood at the front entrance of the historic Coast Guard building, now called the Shops at Mallory Square, or simply the Mall. Reading his words aloud, the corner of the freshly typed page was slightly crumpled from the intensity of his grip. One paragraph in, he stopped mid-sentence with a look of perplexity. He was rattled at the sight of a Norbert Szilagyi original staring at him from the window at the Key West Art Center next door. We all walked over to take a closer look. The title of it, "My Heart Flies Free." Eventually, we returned to the front of the mall, where Sean continued to the bottom of the page. Words of acknowledgement, words of gratitude, words of respect, a eulogy. His words were heard. A toast was made, and a night devoted to honoring the life of a friend came quietly to a close. Read by Sean P. Dwyer, out of his own free will. Me, today, July 8th, 2026, here in Key West, Florida.